Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen from Windy Chaos, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about being able to streamline your planning because I see a lot of folks who have great intentions for planning and they start off really strong, and then that repetitive part gets into it where it's hard to always be copying over to-do lists and other things like that, like your events and stuff. And I think Zoom Notes does such a great job of integrating some native Apple apps that if we stop using those apps, we're kind of throwing out the baby with the water. So I'm going to show you how to use reminders so that you're not doing that, that you're getting back to the joy of the planning, making beautiful pages, and not having to remember all the things because these native apps work so well and are great across devices. You can add to reminders just using Siri. It's great. Just have to kind of use all the tools that we have at our disposal to make things easier, to really establish a fabulous system that you'll want to use. And that's where that value added comes in to doing this daily planning. Um, if it's just for fun and hobby, it's not always, it becomes something that you can put aside. Whereas if it really adds value to your life, you're going to want to keep doing it. You're going to be creating a record and a journal of your life, which is super valuable. And it's going to be harder to put it aside to just be entertained doing something else. So let's jump into reminders because I want to show you a few of its features that if you haven't played with it before, you might not be aware. And then I'm going to show you how those integrate into Zoom Notes so that you're not duplicating your work. So let me make my face a little. It looks weird being all big on there like that. Okay, so in reminders, I just made a little demo list, but I have a couple of lists on the side, and you can tell Zoom Notes. I'm sorry, once I get on here, the glare on my glasses is terrible. I'm going to try to rearrange some screens so you don't see that so bad. But once I'm on here, you can see that I have a couple of lists, and within those lists, you can also create segments, but don't get too crazy with this because you can really niche down to getting super, I don't know, granular on it. But if you do that, you'll kind of lose some of that easy functionality, and not all of it transfers over to Zoom Notes all that well. So don't get too caught up. You just want to make this functional, make it a tool that you'll want to use. So if yours doesn't look like this, it might be because you don't have sections. And sections are this part right there. And then you can add a section to it. In my reminders up here, I have sections. I have a finance, a home, church for me, and others. But I can also then go here and I can do view as columns. And that kind of gives you that Kanban or Trello look, which is kind of nice as well. So on this demo list, I kind of just made two sections, at home and on the go. Um, Man, do those guys. And you can drag and drop things between sections, which makes it kind of nice too, especially if you want to do like a planning on it someday, in progress. Again, kind of that Kanban feel if you want. For me, it's more about location or I don't know. I have different compartments of my life, things that I do for myself, things that I do for my family, things that I do specifically for my mom, who I've become her primary caregiver, um, and that sort of thing. So I have like a for mom list on here, obviously. And then when I'm running errands, I can make these sections into like the different stores I need to go to. Things that I'm going to pick up at Kohl's, things that I'm going to pick up at Walmart or Kroger or Aldi or whatever. So that's kind of nice. One list that doesn't show up well is that shopping list. Now, it is what's considered a smart list and it's already baked into reminders, but it's super if you need a shopping list. It just doesn't come over to your planner. So leave that one off. Just use just use it for what it is. So the nice part is it automatically sorts things. So if you just go through a big long list of ingredients or items, it'll kind of put them in the aisles or grocery store sections. So super helpful. The other thing that's really nice is you can kind of template things. So I have a packing list here that I did for this last weekend. If I do show completed, there's all the things. Um, on this trip, I kind of had the same thing. Uh, no, that's not what I was thinking of. There was one where, oh, yeah. So you can put things like notes on there. So I was thinking about certain outfits that I was going to bring, and I put them in the notes. So it worked out really nice. I'm keeping it. I'm going to just uncheck all the items and use it again. So there we go. Let's run back over to this demo list. Now, here's the main key when you're working with this is that when you're doing your planning and you're looking at what you got accomplished and what needs to be accomplished, you just have to be very clear about what you think you can do in the next day. And then you're assigning a date to that. So if I'm looking at this and I'm going to be home and I say, okay, I want to do select reminders. I know that I could probably get 3 things done that are past my normal work day. So I'm going to set up this appointment. I'm going to make this phone call and write this thank you note. And then here at the bottom, I'm going to assign it a date and I'm going to say I'm going to get these done today. And I'm applying that. Tomorrow, I'm going to, again, I'm going to clean out my purse. I'm going to change the smoke detectors and order the Father's Day gift. And I'm going to select that for tomorrow. And then maybe Wednesday's my running around day. So maybe that'll be my on the go things. Select reminders 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to do those for Wednesday. Now, when I'm going through and I'm doing my planning for the week, these things are going to show up automatically. And it's just like magic. Okay, I'm going to split screen this and go into ZoomNotes. And first, right now I've got this on my weekly. I don't really want to show it to you on the weekly right yet. I'm going to show it to you on a daily. So I'm going to go to today, which is the 26th. And all my pages, I like to kind of have things kind of off to the side, and then I'm sitting there and I'm playing with my page and I make it really cute, and then I either cut and paste it in, or I drag it in, or I just write it in. somehow I'm going to bring it in and then I get rid of like this guy. He'll go away. Um, right now it's not showing anything, and that's because I changed a setting. And I'll show you where that is. It's under calendar, configure events, and it is. And I think I'm going to like it. I'm just not 100% sure yet. So events before layers. I do like the all day events to show up and all day events above. Okay, I'm going to change that. But it says events before layers. When enabled, events will be drawn on the screen before any of your drawing layers. This may cause some or all of the events to disappear behind other objects. So I have to turn that off. And I go back. I might see, I don't know. I might not have anything down for today because it's Memorial Day. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to take off the fill. Yeah, I don't have anything for today. Okay. But I will have something for tomorrow that way. So the reason you might want to do this is if you like to cover things up, say with a Dutch door. If that is not on there, you're going to find it a little hard to cover it because it kind of always lets events and calendar items sit on top, like of everything. So let's play with that a little bit. Just know it's there. It's under your configure events, and it's that little events before layers. So I'm going to keep it on for right now. Let's just see how we like it. So right now, today, I don't have anything planned, but I just added those to-do list things, and you might see some other things pop up on my. So I'm going to draw a shape, and I'm going to go into it, into under style. I'm going to say calendar, and I'm going to go to reminders. I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick the demo list, and I'm going to filter by date, and I want it to start today. So that's that first number one. And I only want it to show today's reminders. So I keep it 1 1. Now I'm going to take the fill off of here and it should show it. And it's not. Why is it not? Does it really think it's that today is June 26th? Oh, maybe I am in June 26th. Yep, that would be why. Okay, so let's go to the correct date. Okay, May. May 26th. See, now this looks really junky to me, and what I would probably end up doing is just making these into markers. So, okay, 26th. And that Kohl's cache didn't show up. It's the only thing I have on my calendar for today. Table properties, fill is off, and there's the Kohl's cache, which I already spent. Don't worry. I have learned that starting May 1st of this year, you no longer get a 10-day grace period. So keep that in mind, all you Kohl's shoppers. Okay, here we go. There's my new square calendar, reminders, doing the demo list. I want to filter by day, and I'm keeping it 1 1. and tapping away from it. Now you're not seeing anything because I still have a fill on it. So fill off. And it shows up in red because things that are due today show up in red. But that's okay because I need physical, visual things to make the bells go off. So if I look at this here, I can see it and I can pull it in and I can put it on the page. I'm on layer, am I on layer 3.1? Yeah, I'm on layer 3.1, but it is like the bottom of it. So this guy covers it up. Oh, this is an old list. Let me get rid of that guy. Okay. So this covers it up. I would have to take away the fill if I wanted to, or I've got this set up as a Dutch door. So it's just a shape, but if I go here, I go to shape properties, I go to link, function, and the function is toggle hidden. Apply. Boop. And then I do that I could see, hide them or show them. Depending how ugly your to-do list is, you might not want to see it. I'm often in that mode where I've made this beautiful thing and it's like, oh, now I have to ugly it up with the words. So, it just depends on how you want to handle it. But if I were to change this under the configure events, configure events, then it would show up on top no matter what I wanted to do. Unless, I think even though, okay, here's a new layer, a new square that's got to fill, and see it still shows up. So that's kind of annoying. So you kind of have to figure out how you want to do that. Um, either always having it showing or allowing it to be covered. Just depends on what you want to do. When I have a really pretty spread, I will make a shape or put a tag in or something like that and just allow this to sit on top of it because I do want to see it. I just want to make sure that I get to kind of control whether I'm seeing it or not. So if you really want to be able to hide it, you have to go in and click that little guy saying that it can be hidden, basically. Um, but if you're going to try to stick it in the middle, it's not going to work in the middle. It's either going to be the very bottom thing or the very top thing. So just be aware of that. But this is part of why I kind of keep these things to the side and play with my design, and then I figure out how I'm going to work things in. The same things like with this, I don't care about the Kohl's cash going on my planner. So I would just get rid of that. But if I just get rid of the shape, then it's gone. Then it's good. Um, so that's what's going on there. So if I don't do any of these things and I go on to the next day, here you'll see that I've got all those Tuesday items, but anything that I didn't mark off is going to show up as an overdue item. It'll be red. All of this will be red then, but it'll be red and it'll be on there. And I didn't have to do anything to carry that over. And then the same thing, we don't have a Wednesday one, but let's make a Wednesday one. We're going to do this, calendar, reminders. Now, if I just turn on reminders, I kind of get everything that has a date or not, right? And that is overwhelming. Even here you can see there's 3 dots. There's more. Isn't that scary? So yeah, I don't want to see all that. Um, that's when I get overwhelmed and I can just kind of go into ostrich mode. Shape properties, reminders, pick a calendar. I just want to see the demo stuff and I want to filter it by the date. And that day to start filter, it's reading that this is Wednesday's date. So it's only showing Wednesday. And the number of days, this is more of a plan ahead thing. The number of days you're interested in for a single day, 2 days, for a weekend, etc. So there we go. Oops. I don't think I hit apply. Okay. It should refresh here in just a second. And those things will come off. Sometimes if you do that, oh, there it goes. Yeah, sometimes if you hit the page info, it'll do like a refresh. So these were just the Wednesday things that I had put on there. All right, guys, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. Um, you can change the number or the font size of your reminders independent of the event size, but you can't change the font. So your event font and your to-do font would be to the same. Before you do any of that though, go into the information for that page and do freeze. And then change right here, edit calendar settings right there. And that's where you're going to change it just for that day. I love this one. I think it's cute. And I can change the font size. Done. And planner options. There we go. Done. Well, are you going to do it? Maybe not. It might be that I needed to do that before I edited this. Okay, that's all in events, reminders. Okay, here we go. That's where I wanted to change it. So in this one, I've got that. And then back here. Now, when I changed that here, I changed it for all of them. So don't do that. I like about a 24. And you can check things off from here. You can click on that and click completed. It will complete it in the app as well. You can add a time for it. One of the nice things about Reminders app is using the notifications. I highly recommend for very time sensitive things that you use the notifications. They'll show up on your phone, they'll show up on your computer, they'll show up on your tablet. It's just helpful to have those bells and whistles sometimes. I generally look at my planner in the morning and in the evening, and not so much during the day. Most of my detailed to-do lists for work are on Notion. My workflow, my all my data stuff that I use all the time. So I'm in that during my work hours and not so much on my iPad. And so this is helpful to have that come up on my screen and say, oh, wait, you needed to make that phone call before 4 p.m. when their office closed. So use the add a time thing, especially if you've got a deadline, you know, set yourself up for success. You can also open reminders from there, which is nice. It's not going to do it right now because I've got it side by side and open already. Um, Another nice thing in reminders is you can use the location services. So it'll remind you of things as you're getting in and out of your car. When you arrive to a certain location, like even like a store and stuff, I've used the Maps app to GPS it in, and when I get in this area, remember to run by this store. It's nothing more frustrating than being 30 minutes away and going, darn it, I meant to hit that while I was over in that area. So that's that's the idea behind it. I think it's a great tool, but using all the tools at our disposal to make life easier, it just frees up time and mental space when you're doing your planning, because you can quickly go through your to-do list and say, tomorrow I just have to hit all of these things. But it also means, like, when you're in the car and you're driving, you can tell the little genie in your phone to add that reminder in there. It's so often it's when we're doing something else, like taking a shower or driving the car, that our minds are freed up and start thinking of all these things that we need to add. And it's not always the most convenient time. And it's like, oh, then you get engaged in another activity, all that gets pushed out. And it's like, oh, I did think of that, but I thought of it at a time when I couldn't really act on it. So I feel like this app and its integrations make it super easy to collect all the to-dos and the things that need done in one place, and then you can quickly sort through them, assign them dates, and they're just going to magically show up in your planner. So if you're curious about how to do calendars in your planner, there's a whole other video, and basically this is almost the exact same setup where you could go ahead and have a to-do box that shows up next to your thing on, and you don't have to think about it. As long as you're going in and assigning dates to things, you're going to be okay. And yes, I kick the can down the road all the time. There are things that I say I'm going to get done on my businessy day, the day that I don't allow myself to do a lot in my shop, but I have to do my finances, and this is the day to make all the phone calls and schedule the appointments and all that sort of thing. And sometimes I'm more successful at that than others because I am a procrastinator at heart, and it is a habit of a lifetime. So, anyway, I hope that you get something really good from this and make planning just a little bit easier. I love Zoom Notes. This, again, is one of those features that I think just puts it head and shoulders above all the others that are out there, because it takes so much of the work of planning and just lets you have the creative outlet that it has become for me anyway. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next video. I'm going to try to be doing some slower plan with me's where I just kind of show you how I use the different tools, especially if you're new to Zoom Notes and just looking for all the different menus and stuff. I don't want to do quickie voiceovers. So hopefully I won't bore you to tears, but you'll learn some good stuff. Thank you and take care.